Tonight, we're getting expert insight about this developing situation in Boston. News 4's Rachel Kingston spoke to a former Buffalo FBI leader. Rachel?
From piecing together fragments of the bombs at the scene to locking down a city of 1 million people while a suspect was on the loose, retired FBI head Bernie Tolbert says this is a case where everything and everyone worked right and worked smart.
In the beginning, there's a lot of confusion, an awful lot of confusion.
Once it became apparent, however, that the explosions at the Boston Marathon were not an accident, investigators faced a daunting task: single out who planted the bombs in a crowd of thousands. Bernard Tolbert, the former head of the Buffalo FBI, says investigators start by analyzing the physical evidence.
You look at the forensics. If you've got pieces, fragments of the bomb, you got some of the remnants of the blast, you can start to look at that, and that'll help you piece some of it together.
In this case, the crude construction of the bombs right away told Tolbert something about the suspects.
My first thought was that it probably wasn't an Al-Qaeda type organization, because I would think they would go for something more spectacular.
Photos and videos captured by surveillance cameras and cell phones seem to back up that theory. Agents and behavioral analysts singled out 2 young men as possible suspects based on their mannerisms and reactions to the bombs going off.
The expected reaction is that everyone's going to be startled. There'll be some looks of amazement, whatever. If you see someone who kind of is not paying that kind of attention, not having that kind of reaction, seems to just ignore it, that's a clue.
Releasing those photographs, Tolbert believes, was a smart decision by the FBI.
It certainly helped the FBI and law enforcement to zero in on who they were looking for.
He applauds both the police and citizens for how they conducted themselves after the shooting at MIT and during the day-long lockdown and manhunt in Watertown. It's a case, Tolbert says, where everything was done right.
They recognize that there's a threat to the public safety, and that's what law enforcement is there for. And this is a perfect example of how they do it well.
The manhunt is over now, but Tolbert says the investigation is only beginning. Agents' top priority now will be interrogating the surviving suspect. They'll want to know why the brothers did this and get as much insight, learn whatever they can from this incident. Rachel Kingston, News 4 at 6.